Yeah. Welcome to the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Welcome to the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone, baby.
I've been free to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Make the shows I want, anywhere I want, with whom I want, in any style I want. So at first I don't know any other way, and by now I won't have it any other way. Life is good. Why settle for less?
Yeah. Don't do it, baby. Do not settle for anything less than the very, very best, baby. That's what you deserve.
Be open to experience. Be willing to try new things. Don't have a rigid plan. Accept random acts of hospitality without judgment or fear. Don't be afraid to wander. Don't be afraid to eat a bad meal. You know, if you don't risk the bad meal, you'll never get the magical one. But I think most important, be humble. Be grateful. 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 Before I started traveling, I thought that the human race as a whole would turn on itself at any moment. You know, venal, petty, cruel, arbitrary. And it's true that all of those things exist in this world, but I meet mostly pretty nice people doing the best they can, often under very, very difficult conditions. I met a lot of very nice people who've done very, very bad things that conflict with my deeply held conceptions of justice, or sexual equality, or acceptable practice, or religious views. There are a lot of gray areas in travel. But I think that on balance, the world is filled with people doing the best they can, you know? Best they can, you know? Be humble. Be grateful. 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 Be humble. Be grateful.
Yo. What the heck? Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Get it out. What is cracking, baby? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to MAZ. Welcome to that MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone, baby. Here, deep down, deep in the heart of YouTube. You know, deep in the heart of YouTube, we're here. We set up this place, baby. We set up a beautiful place, and unlike certain nouveau nations, we're not changing. We're not going to pretend we're not an autonomous zone. We're not going to suddenly pretend we're like a protest area or something because we suddenly got screwed. Heck no. This is the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone, you know, and that's what's up, and I'm glad you're here. Welcome one and all. Welcome to the place. Welcome to the best place on earth. Welcome to the best place on earth. I'm very glad you're here. I'm very glad you're here, you know. There's nowhere else I would rather be, and there's no one else I'd rather have here than you know. Excuse me, I'm just tweeting my link. That song went by so fast, and I realized why. It's because I played an early version of it. What's very exciting about, you know, this space, this place is like you get to hear unreleased stuff, you get to hear demo versions of things, and sometimes it's just because I mislabeled an MP3. Like then, I didn't even realize I was playing the first demo version of that song, but I was. That was Akira The Don and Anthony Bourdain. Be humble, be grateful, you know? And I'm very, very grateful today. I'm very, 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 very grateful. I'm grateful to the gods, you know? Grateful to the gods, definitely. The gods gave me your humble neighborhood wave lord. You know, they gave me everything I needed, you know, to do what I needed to do. They did. I didn't realize it for a long time, and now I do. And they gave me that too, you know? Grateful to the ancestors who created this miracle of a society in which we dwell. You know, this miracle of a society in which we dwell. That was the ancestors who did that. That was, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I mean, I've been doing my bit, you know, to regulate the vibes and all that sort of thing, but I didn't create the whole society. I didn't. That was the ancestors. So I'm very grateful to the ancestors, you know. And I'm very grateful to the people who run my local CVS, you know, after they got looted by the zombie hordes. You know, the zombie hordes took all the hair bleach, all of the bleach of the hair, all of it. There was none left. They left all the brown hair dye. They left all the red hair dye. But they took the blonde. They took the bleach. I don't know why. I don't know if they're using it to make bombs or something. I don't know what's going on there. I don't really think about it too hard. But I'm very grateful because the guys at CVS restocked, and I was able to... They only restocked with one packet for some reason. I guess maybe they found one out back. But it was there, and I was able to bleach my hair. And today, brothers and sisters, today, for the first time since February 2020, the long, long, long ago, those final hours before the, what do you call it, the Tom Hanks disease? You know, before the Tom Hanks disease, that beautiful concoction of the communist Chinese and Bill Gates and Tom Hanks, or whoever it was. Ask Norm Macdonald, I'm not a doctor. You know, before that whole situation, me and Hercules, we went and got haircuts, cuts of the hair, you know? We felt good. We felt good, baby, and that was a long time ago, and recently I've been feeling like a goddamn bum. Feeling like a goddamn bum, and so is Hercules. But today, we went and got haircuts on Melrose. Haircuts on Melrose. Melrose is the town in the road in LA that we live on, or just off of, you know. Popular road used to be, anyway. Used to be very popular amongst the hype beasts until the zombie hordes came and trashed it. They trashed it, and now it's all boarded up windows and shut shops for the most part, and delivery robots. We saw a delivery robot today. When I was a kid and I thought about delivery robots in the future, they were a lot more aesthetically pleasing than the delivery robots I saw today, which is basically a little wagon. It's just like a little wheeled wagon with like a face painted on the front. It literally was. So it's basically like a remote control car or something, I guess, but with like wagon wheels. And it's out delivering people's Postmates on its own. You know, Hercules was very interested in it. That's my son. He like runs up to the thing, goes, hi, hi, hi. The thing just beeped at him coldly. It stopped and just went, meh, meh. You know, Hercules said, can I pet it? I said, no. No, you shouldn't pet that thing. You don't know where it's been. You don't know what it's up to. You don't know if it's a robot. That might be, you know, that might be a sleeper agent, you know, of the communist Chinese. It might turn, it might transform. It might be a transformer. You know, the Transformers, they were aliens. You know, people think about the Transformers, they think heroic robots. They was aliens. You know, they came down and they pretended to be other things. They were sneaks. They were sneaky agents of an alien power. They came down and pretended to be cars and Walkmans. Is it Walkmen or Walkmans? Walkmen or Walkmans. That's what those Transformers were up to. Transformers. You know, that's what they were. Oh, shouts out to Skepta. By the way, I've got to pull this record up. I think Skepta, Grime MC Skepta's mad woke now, right? But like 7 years ago, he had a song called Transvestites. And it went, Transvestites, man them in disguise. Transvestites, more than meets the eyes. Like that. It was a grime song based around the Transformers theme about fellows dressing as ladies. You know, little was he to know that in a couple of years that would be completely unacceptable. You know, and now he's very woke, of course. He's very, very woke. Woking around on his Instagram, all woke with his eyes sort of propped open by matchsticks, I imagine. And he's probably had to apologize for that song. I don't know. I haven't paid attention. I haven't looked. But either way, we got haircuts. Yeah, we did. And to get those haircuts was, well, first off, you can't just walk into the hairdressers anymore. You've got to stand outside, and then someone comes out and they check if you've got the Tom Hanks disease. And the way they check if you've got the Tom Hanks disease is they shoot you with a gun. They do. They literally have like a gun thing in their hand. Hercules goes, what the heck? What is this, Dado? So don't worry, boy. Then I thought, what do you mean, don't worry, boy? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's in this gun. You know, but apparently it's to check your temperature. It's a temperature checking gun, you know? And they held it to my head. And I said, don't worry, Herky, it's just to check if you've got a brain. And then she clicked it and it didn't work. And she said, oh, it's not working. And Hercules thought that was quite funny. Because I suppose the intonation was that I didn't have a brain. She wasn't even trying to be funny, Earth, but things stopped working. Maybe I'm not real. Maybe I don't have a temperature. I don't know. But anyway, you know, they checked if we had Tom Hanks disease, and we didn't have Tom Hanks disease, no. We didn't even slightly have Tom Hanks disease, so they let us in. We had to wear masks, face masks, masks of the face. Luckily, I had mine, you know. I got my MEANINGWAVE face masks. You know, we're all cool. We're groovy. Mine says good. Good. Someone said to me, why does your face mask say good? I said, well, what is that, a trick question? What's wrong with you? You know? We saw someone, Hercules saw someone at Astroburger the other day, he had a Jocko t-shirt on. He got very excited. You know Jocko, he reads me bedtime stories. Wrong Jocko, the guy doesn't get it. Have you never heard the Warrior Kid podcast, mister? You know, that's Jocko's finest podcast. Did you not know? Did you not know that's Jocko's finest podcast? Uncle Jake reading your stories, you know? Anyway, we got haircuts. And guess what happened? Like, the lady said, Hercules, like, how do you want your haircut? And he goes, like Dada. Oh, no, I have never felt more pride. I've never felt simultaneously as loved and respected as I did in that moment when my little 7-year-old son turned to the hairdresser and he was getting his first haircut in months and months. And I said he could get whatever haircut you wanted. Whatever haircut you want, son. I thought he was going to get one of those stupid YouTuber haircuts, you know. Because he likes those YouTubers. And they've all got that one haircut where it's like, it's a bit like Justin Bieber 10 years ago. It's like an emo thing. It's like a tidy emo thing. They got the side fringe, and all that business. I honestly thought he was going to ask for one of them. And he still looked at the hairdresser with his big, beautiful eyes, and he said, like Dada, like my dad. She went, you sure? She came over to me. She goes, you sure? He says he wants a haircut like you. I thought you wanted to keep it long. Said, shit, if my boy wants to look like his papa. Yo, when I was a kid, right? When I was a boy, like, my old man had us all have, I'm the oldest of 4 boys, right? I got 3 little brothers. And there's a photo of us. It's legendary. I should find it. One of these days and bring it up, you know? Because we all got the same haircut. It's not that dissimilar to mine now. We all got these mullets, you know? And that was my dad's haircut. We all got my dad's haircut, but he made us all have his haircut. We didn't want it. We expressly tried not to have it. We didn't want that damn haircut, and he made us all get his haircut so we could all look like him. I didn't want my boy to have my haircut. I didn't even think about it. My boy chose to model himself on his father. Do you know what a beautiful feeling that is, brother, sister? Do you know what beautiful feeling that is? To have your son look up to you in such a fashion. Beautiful feeling, yes it is. Of course, then we got home and I'm doing some pull-ups, you know, because you should do some pull-ups, particularly in front of your son, you know, because then he'll want to do pull-ups. But then he's like, Dada, you should have me on your back when you're doing pull-ups. So I said, all right, feeling quite proud of myself in a fatherly fashion. You're all right, good, yes. So I have him strap himself into my back. Yo, I managed 1 pull-up with my son strapped to my back. He is 7. You know, he's a big rock of a thing, you know. They're heavy, them 7-year-olds. They've eaten a lot of food. Across 7 years, that's a lot of food. You know, they're quite dense. They also got a lot of ideas in them, you know. Quite densely packed with ideas. Ideas are heavy. You know that. Anyway, though, I managed 1 pull-up, and he wasn't very impressed by that. He's like, Dada, you need to set a goal. I said, all right, by Friday, we'll be able to do 2. He said, I think you should do 10, Dada. I said, all right, 5. So now I've got to be able to do 5 pull-ups with him on my back by Friday. Otherwise, I'll lose all of his respect. And he'll want a new haircut. Damn. Thing is, though, right, here's the main thing. The main thing is we got haircuts and we feel good. And damn, baby, if we weren't taking haircuts for granted back in February 2020. Oh my goodness, we was taking so much for granted. Being able to go get coffees without a mask on. We took that for granted. Haircuts, restaurants, not having your shop smashed up by lunatics. Not having, like, your auntie espouse the same crazy ideology that those morons at university do. We took so much for granted. That's last year, all the things we took for granted. We took Bourdain BE Peterson for granted. We thought he'd always be around. Thought he'd always be there to say smart things. No, don't take things for granted. If you love something, be grateful for it right now. If you love someone right now, tell them they're great. If you love your nan, ring her up and say, I love you, nan. She might die. Mine died. She died on Christmas. I thought I was going to talk to her on Christmas Day. No, I did not get to talk to my nan on Christmas Day. She was dead. She was dead. I did not get to see her again. I thought I would get to go back. I thought I was going back to the UK this year to get a new visa. I thought I was going to be able to celebrate my mum's birthday. You know, I thought I'd be able to see my nan, celebrate my mum's 60th birthday, celebrate some other people's birthdays. Lots of people in my family are having birthdays together. We were going to, like, rent a castle or something, you know? You can rent castles dead cheap in the UK. They've got loads of them. They're all over the place. Castles everywhere, 2,000 years old, just laying around. We thought we were going to do that. No. No airplanes. We took so much for granted, brother, sister. So much we took for granted. I say no more. I say we should, what's the opposite of taking things for granted? What would you say that is? What would you say, chat? What would you call that? We need a term for it, you know? There's got to be a term for it. You know, but I think we should definitely be celebrating things way more. We should definitely be shouting people out way more. You know, a lot of people go on Twitter and they just moan about things. How about you go on Twitter and you go, yo, Tim Westwood, thank you for introducing me to rap music aged 8. You know, find an actor that was good in a movie you liked and so just say, thank you very much, that was dead good. You know, find someone who wrote something good or great even and thank them. Go, you know, thank the people while you can thank them. They might die. People die all over the place. They're always dying all the time. Or we might try and deny death in our weirdo new world where we try and stop people from dying by denying them life. You old people, there's no way you're allowed to die. You must not die. You must live for another 6 months, but you're not allowed to see anybody. You're not allowed to cuddle anyone or hug anybody. You've got to stay in this room on your own. But that's worth destroying our society over. Yes, it is. We're very smart. Obviously, I'm being sardonic, and that's retarded. But we are broadcasting live in the peak of recorded human civilization. We are going through some things, brother, sister, but it's the best. It's the best. We just got to sort a few things out, you know what I mean? And one of the ways we sort those things out is via an extreme and radical gratitude. Gratitude! We got to be grateful. We got to look around and look at look at all this cool shit we've actually got and be grateful for it, so then we hang on to it. So we don't allow it to be destroyed by morons and lunatics. Damn.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
For that 400 trillion to one thing, I'm grateful. Straight up. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you might have not been born, right? Like, your dad could have been late to the apartment that day. On some real shit. Like, I don't think people contextualize perspective. Like, what? Like, you're alive. Like, you're alive. You could have been a tree. You could have, like, right? Like, this is cool. Like, life is good. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. It's good to have one. Life is good. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. That's number one. One of the biggest things for me is being the bigger person. I hate conflict. Yeah. Ironically, like, I'm a tough guy when I have the mic and nobody else can talk, but in real life, I like happiness and vibes and, like, I've eaten shit my whole life.
Yeah.
Stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from me in the liquor store. Like, I found a way for him not to go to jail for a long time. Like, you know, like, just being the bigger person has been a core principle of mine. Not valuing money over family and, like, happiness has been huge. Fuck money. Like, really. Fuck money. You cannot care about money more when you don't care about what people think about your money. You know? Life is good. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. It's cool to have one. Life is good. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. That's number one. Patience. Holy shit, I'm gonna live 4 more full lives. And no matter how crazy what I think about right now is, and, like, what I want to accomplish on or off the field, I got 4 fucking lives to do it. You guys know Grey Goose? The guy who invented that as an entrepreneur invented it at 78. 78 years old. You know? That's life. Like, you could do everything wrong, have every dream you've ever had fucked up, blame it on other people, the girl fucked it up, that injury fucked it up, coach fucked it up, blame everybody, have everything go wrong, be 57 years old, and still have fucking 40 years to make it right. It's crazy, honestly. Like, if there was some crazy new drug that I could, like, inject in you that gave you perspective of time, that's the drug I would give you. Straight up. Life is good. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. It's cool to have one. Life is good. This is cool. Life is good. Like, it's good to have one. That's the one. Life is good. Life is good. Like it's cool to have one. It's cool to have one.
Life is good.
Life is good. This is cool. Like it's cool to have one. That's number one.
Yeah.
It makes you optimistic.
Yeah, baby.
People are sitting here dwelling already. Dwelling already. Fuck, I shouldn't have come to Rutgers. Fucking knew it. Of course there's people thinking that. Like that's just real life. Dwelling already, haven't even fucking started.
Yeah.
Man, that's what I want to change.
Life is good. Like it's cool to have one. It's cool to have one. Life is good. Life is good. Like it's cool to have one. That's number one. Yeah, baby. Life is good. Life is good. You know, it's cool to have one. It's better than cool to have one. Gee whiz. Imagine you didn't have a life, right? You're like a sort of disembodied, like, spirit thing just floating around, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'd love to have a life, you know? Just get to go and live. To feel things and experience things and touch things and taste things and all that, you know what I mean? Get to fall in love for the first time. All these things you get to do, baby, you know what I mean? You get to lie in a meadow. You know, you get to feel the sunshine kiss your skin. You know? You get to look in your son's eyes and him say, I love you, Dada. You know? Get to hold your mother's hand, you know? When you're a little boy and with your old lady, if you're lucky, you know? There's many, 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 many blessings, many, many glorious things. If you was a disembodied spirit and you didn't get to do that shit, you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like, yeah, shoot, man. Shoot. You know, just to live. Just to taste the air. So many blessings. Yo, we got to do the international high five because we're an international community. You know, we come from all these different places to gather here today at MAZ, at the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. That MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone deep in the heart of YouTube that we have declared in order to regulate the vibes correctly because they be messing them up. Seems like seems like someone needed to do it. So we are doing it, baby. We are here. And we're going to do the international high five. And the international high five is a custom we have. It binds us together here at MAZ across space and time. If you're listening to this on the replay, then shouts out to you, you know? If you're here live, then shouts out to you. We're going to join together, you know? And to do that, I want to know where you came from today. Where were you before you came to MAZ? Where were you? And what are you grateful for today, baby? What are you grateful for today? Tell me, brother, sister, tell me now. Yeah. I mean, I gotta say I'm grateful for Angelo Badalamenti, who I sampled on this beautiful piece of music right here. Super grateful for Angelo Badalamenti. What a bad motherfucker Angelo Badalamenti is. Yeah, shouts out to him. Yeah. Hey, Michael Tapia says, would you know if you didn't have a life? That's a deep question. I guess you'll find out one day, maybe, when you no longer have that life. Who knows? Some people say they know. So, I mean, you know, it's a question. Some people, they have memories, right, of being that disembodied spirit and trying to find something to hang on to. I read about that. Shit, baby. Mario Net says, I wouldn't mind being a disembodied spirit thing for a day, but I would absolutely want to go back to being alive. Nothing like being alive, baby. Not that I know of. DS20 says, damn right, baby. AI says, just in time. Yeah, you just in time. You just in time for that MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Rachel Tracy's in the building, says, high five everyone from Illinois and to the Don. Yo, it's a Rachel Tracy we say. Bless. Blessings to Rachel Tracy. David Howe is grateful for ambition. Vespa73 in Salt Lake City is grateful for our infinite imagination. Hey, Wubba Lover Lo-Fi is in the building. And the message just scrolled away from my vision. There you go. Grateful for the waves, man. What were you grateful for, you Wubba Love? Omar Ali is in the building, says grateful for Akira to chill out and reset. Nice. Tony Tiger dropping in flames. Marionette says I came from a board meeting for my gun club. I'm grateful that we're finally getting people engaged in helping run the place. Oh shit. Are you setting up an autonomous zone? Damn, baby, what a time to be alive. Sidra Taj came from my workout in the garden, grateful for peace, prosperity, and family. Yeah, nice. I'm grateful for that garden that you got, baby. I'm glad you got a garden. Bob Koshi says grateful for this able body. Shouts out to that able body, Bob. Bob, one of the finest names known to man, Bob. Excellence. Blackrock Beacon from PA came today from PA to man, says I'm grateful for being a conscious being able to experience this universe. Damn straight, baby. Imagine being not so difficult. Rachel Tracy says I'm grateful for my family, truth, justice, you, Akira, JP, everyone here at Maz. Yes. Exactly that. Oh, where'd it go? Oh. Austin Z says grateful for the name on my back. Pitio Cat says grateful for the sets. We had a good one this morning, massively inspired by Pitio Cat. We just freestyled out an epic Meaning Wave set. Milman Dan says, have come from a cave in the mountains. Grateful for the dawn each morn. Hey, nice. We have a monk in our midst. Prince Jabrika's XV Seattle. I came from desolation and abandonment of optimism in the face of chaos. Chose the higher path and became grateful that I'm simply alive. For the gift of life is an endless bounty. Truly it is, and it's the gift that keeps on giving, because the more you recognize the glory and the more that you give thanks to the glory, the more glory comes your way and the more you see. It's very epic. Walking More Poet came here tonight from Virginia, says, I'm grateful for the sense of meaning from the Maz community. Yeah, me too, baby. I'm grateful for that cup of water. My eye was drying out, right? And my contact lens started dripping. All I had to do was drink some water and then it was okay. Water moves fast, you know? DS20 in Tacoma, grateful to know loss and inspiration to reassess my life. You bad man. You got lost. I'm sorry for your loss, brother, and I'm grateful for your presence. Joe Rhino says, I'm grateful for this moment. Me too. Michael Tapia says, much love from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm grateful for this life and all the food I have to eat. I'm grateful for Meaning Wave. Isn't it crazy? All that food we'd be taking for granted that our ancestors did not have. That our ancestors, oh my lord, the shit they used to have to go through to get food. Are you mad, bruv? Holy cow, the activities. You know, those epic activities those homies used to go through just to get food. Cindy Bailey in Riverside, grateful for these burgers I'm grilling. See, there you go. Damn. Grateful for the city on my back, says DS Duenas. Gotta get that guy out. Yeah. Eccentric Naturalist, watching on the down low at work. Employers can't stop the Meaning Wave autonomous zone. They cannot, and I'm grateful to your employers for giving you internet and the freedom to observe this, even if they didn't explicitly. Because they did. Yeah. Tony Tiger's in the house. Mike Better's in the house. Pittsburgh, grateful for this moment. Yeah. LZ, Portland, grateful for greedy sneakerheads buying my old shoes. Yeah. Epic. Andrew Comaromi in Scarborough, Canada, grateful for truth, justice, and the American way. Gregory Witch is grateful for YouTube hero Alex regulating and moderating like a beast. Hey, me too. I'm very grateful to YouTube hero Alex. Let's hear it for YouTube hero Alex. What a guy. What a guy. What a beautiful international community we have here tonight at Maz in the Meaning Wave Autonomous Zone. What a beautiful community. I think a beautiful community like that surely and certainly deserves an international high five. Yeah, it does. You know what to do, baby. You gotta cock back. You gotta raise it up, baby. You gotta raise it up. You gotta go 3, 2, 1. High five. You do. That's how we get down here at Maz, baby. Truth and justice. I love my family. Hey. I love my family.
He's got clout.
I love my family. 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 Yeah. Love my family. Truth and justice. 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 Love my family. Truth and justice.
My brother Severus. It was through him I encountered Thracia, Helvidius, Cato, Dion, Brutus, and conceived of a society of equal laws governed by equality of status
And of speech.
and of rulers who respect the liberty of their subjects above all else, and from him as well to be steady and consistent in valuing philosophy and to help others and be eager to share, not be a pessimist, never to doubt your friend's affection for you. And when people incurred his disapproval, they always knew it. They always knew it. And that his friends never had to speculate about his attitude to anything. It was always clear.
Love my family, truth and justice. 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 Love my family. To help others and be good to share. To help others and be good to share. To help others and be good to share. To help others and be good to share.
Maximus, self-control and resistance to distractions, optimism in adversity, especially illness, a personality in balance, dignity and grace together,
Doing your job without whining. Major!
other people's certainty that what he said was what he thought and what he did was done without malice. Never taken aback or apprehensive, neither rash nor hesitant or bewildered or at a loss. Not obsequious, but not aggressive or paranoid either. Generosity, charity, honesty, the sense he gave of staying on the path, not being kept on it. That no one could have ever felt patronized by or in a position to patronize him. A sense of humor.
Love my family, truth and justice. 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 Love my family. To help others and be good to share. 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 Yeah, make some noise for Marcus Aurelius. Drop them Marcus emojis in the chat if you got them, baby. Drop them wave emojis if you just got wave emojis, baby. We in Maz, baby. It's the Meaning Wave Autonomous Zone. Yeah. Meaning Wave University. Bop, bop.
I really think, people should give other people the benefit of the
assume that they're good until proven otherwise. And I think really most people are actually pretty good people. Nobody's perfect.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
The vast majority.
I mean, you know, strangely, I think a lot of people don't like humanity and see it as blight. But I do not. This may sound corny, but love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer. Wouldn't hurt to have more love in the world.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
Yeah.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
I think, you know,
I think, you know.
I think people should be nicer to each other and give more credit to others. And don't assume that they're mean until you know they're actually mean. You know, just, it's easy to demonize people. You're usually wrong about it. People are nicer than you think.
Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good. Most people are good. Most people are good.
The vast majority.
Most people are good.
They have to be.
Most people are good.
What you want to do is you want to enter into a conversation so that you come out wiser than you went in.
Yeah.
The best example of this is when you're having an argument with your intimate partner, let's say. Because you're going to want to win. So then you got to think, okay, well, wait a second. We better sort out what winning means here. So let's say that you're more verbally fluent than your partner and more treacherous. So you can win. That doesn't mean you're right, first of all. Winning when you're wrong is a really bad idea. Because then you think you're right. And you're not. And then maybe the person can see things you can't, but can't verbalize them quite as well. Well, you might want to listen. Just there's the possibility that they're trying to tell you how not to run headlong into a brick wall. There's some possibility of that. And so maybe you even have to help them formulate. It's like, okay, I don't get exactly what you're saying. I don't get exactly why you're annoyed. I'm not sure exactly what you want me to do to change it. Let's get this clear. And then I'm going to think about it. Like, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. I'm going to see if possibly you're right. I'm not going to roll over, because I would rather you weren't right. I'm not going to change. But I am going to listen. I would rather not run headlong into a brick wall if I don't have to. And so that's the idea with the conversation.
That's what we don't run into that brick wall, huh? How's about? Of course, you know, alongside that radical gratitude, and they kind of go hand in hand, you also got to have that radical empathy, you know? You got to try and see where some other motherfucker is coming from, you know? Not everyone's in mass.
The web is a trap.
Bap, bap.
Like the spider's web is a trap for flies. Also, the lovely embroideries are worn by women as traps for men, from a certain point of view.
Ooh.
From a certain point of view. And I want to consider the web as something playful. You see, there are so many ways of looking at it. And you will find that all these ways are right, but what we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. Of the view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. There are people, for example, who can see the web as a trap and get stuck with that. There are people to whom existence is simply hateful. They see it as nothing but a ghastly mistake. The Lord really erred when he created this world, because he arranged it in such a way that everything lives by eating something else. And what I'm doing is I'm describing a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. I'm not exactly philosophizing, I'm describing a point of view. You can look at life in such a way that the whole thing is this ghastly mistake. For example, there is no such thing as genuine kindness or love. Everybody is really pretending that they're loving other people in order to get some advantage from them. And indeed, there is a point of view which occurs in certain forms of paranoia, where people don't seem to be real. They are mechanisms. And you can think that out quite intensely with a good deal of intelligence. After all, if you start from a good old Darwinian or Freudian basis and see that man is a material machine and that the consciousness of man is simply a very involved and complicated form of chemistry, well, then this awful mechanical things, these Frankenstein that everybody is, they come around and they say, well, I'm alive. I'm a human being. I have a heart. I love, I hate, I have problems. I feel. And you feel like saying, come off it. You're just a monster. And you put on the civilized act because really you're just a set of teeth on the end of a tube. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. What we need is the fullness of the view. From a certain point of view. From a certain point of view. Yeah. Yeah. And you've got a ganglion behind those teeth, which you call your brain or your alleged mind. And this thing is really basically there for two purposes.
Ganglion, man.
One, to be cunning enough to get something to eat, to put down the tube, and the other, you know what, Mr. Freud, libido. And everything else, you see, can be construed as an elaborate, subtle way of pretending that that's not really what you want to do. But you do, but you put on a great show. Now, some people, according to this view, get mixed up. They so repress that what they really want to do is to eat and to screw. They get involved in higher things that are the masks for these activities and think that that's the real purpose of life. And then they become what's called neurotic. Because they involve in being pure camouflage. But that's what's called escaping from the facts. Not looking at life, not looking at reality correctly.
Not looking at life correctly, huh? Shouts out to Mr. Watts. Yo. Shouts out to Alan Watson. Shouts out to Glenn Barnett for sending me that sample. He sent me that sample for my vocal board, and what a wonderful thing to have on your vocal board, right? I'd never heard that before. Where I should have asked your boy, Glenn, if you're in the chat, Glenn, where did he do this incredible dictionary definition maniacal laugh? It's one of the finest things I've ever heard in my life, you know? Shouts out to everyone locked in, of course. Shouts out to the fine people of Mass. Thank you to everyone who's supporting already. Cosmic Fines, thank you for the super chat. Cedric Tej, thank you. And Cedric Tej got a message. He says, thank you, Alex. And that's a thank you to YouTube Hero Alex. And we're grateful for YouTube Hero Alex. And when we hear that name, YouTube Hero Alex, we all say to ourselves, what a guy. I know I do. If I ever see that name flashing on the screen, I think, what a guy. You know I do. What up, One Slick Mama? Bless up to you. What's cracking in the chat? Rachel Tracy's in the building. What up, Rachel Tracy? What up, Savage Gentleman 13? What up, Alvin? Al7. What up, Dan Frank? What up, Pizio Cat? What up, Joshua Vickers? What up, Multiverse Media Space? What up, LZ? What up, Austin Z? Says grateful for the regulation. I want to know what you guys are grateful for. I want you to think of more things, you know. I used to do a thing, and I should start doing it again, because I don't know why I stopped. I used to do a thing where every morning when I woke up, I know why I stopped now, I can remember. I used to do a thing, it was a habit. I told you about habits, man. I told you all about habits, you know, habits are good. Habits are useful. You know, but habits, you can lose them if you're not even paying attention, if you didn't even know it was a habit, you know. I used to have a habit. I used to have a studio in downtown Los Angeles before the Tom Hanks disease, in the old days of the long ago of February 2020. In the long days ago, before the Tom Hanks disease, before the zombie outbreak, you know, before the Walking Dead thing, you know, the noisy Walking Dead thing, them noisy. You know, before that, I used to have a studio in downtown Los Angeles, and I had a period where I was traveling down there via Uber. I would get a shared ride. Eventually, I'd stopped doing that because I kept getting in fights with people. The ideologically possessed would come in the Ubers, and they would... One time, someone was on their phone, and they just had it on speakerphone, and they were just shouting some ideologically possessed weird shit at their friend on the other side of the phone. I was like, excuse me. Not everybody wants to hear your deranged conversation. I didn't say deranged, I just said conversation. And then they just started shouting at me about my checking my privilege and how dare I question a proud black queen. I was like, yo, you was just being rude, lady. Being very rude, lady. Yo, and then like she got into it and started threatening me and shit. It was crazy, baby. You know, you just can't be sharing Ubers because you don't know who you're getting in with. You might be getting in with the ideologically possessed times rude, multiplied by very rude. Shouting at people on their phone when there's other people in the car. It's very strange. I said, your ancestors would not be very proud of the behavior. Your mother would be very disappointed. I mean, you know, I hope she'd be disappointed. Maybe she'd be very proud that her daughter was very rude. I don't know. But anyway, I used to get an Uber to the studio, you know. I'd get an Uber to the studio, and it was a beautiful thing. I thought, by God, isn't it wonderful? I can, at this point in my life, afford to get in an Uber. I'm sharing it with the ideologically possessed and insane, but it's a blessing, I used to think. And what I did, my habit on the way to the studio, was I would write down a list of things I was grateful for in my Evernote. And I would do it every day. I'd write down 10 things I was grateful for every day. And, you know, there'd be different things every day because I would try and think of different things. And it put me in a real good space, a real good mindset space, you know. But then what happened was I had to stop taking those shared Uber rides because I just kept getting in too many fights with people who were just being noisy and rude. And I had to call them. I can't sit there in the back of my shared cab listening to someone else's stupid conversation. I can't sit there while someone's being a dickhead. I can't do it. I have to say, excuse me, please don't be a dickhead. You know, like, I feel bad for these Uber guys. I never in my life got in an Uber and just started shouting on a phone. So they have to sit there and listen to your deranged ranting. If I ever got in an Uber and I ever had to take a phone call, I'd be, excuse me, sorry, now I'll talk real quiet, and I'd make it real quick. And then I'd always apologize to the driver. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They must have been dragged up, you know? But I kept getting in fights with them. I kept getting in fights in these Uber pools, so I had to stop taking the Uber pools. And then I got myself an e-scooter. And then my new habit became listening to John Vivaki's Meaning Crisis series of lectures on my e-scooter as I rode, you know, that journey, because it was about 45, 50 minutes each way. I could get in most of an episode of Meaning Crisis. So I stopped writing down the list of things I was grateful for. That's where that habit went. I wasn't monitoring it. So I lost that habit. It was a good habit. I was trying to stay in the zone of being grateful, you know, but that was a good one. So I might try and somehow reintroduce that to my life. You know, I think I probably should. And, you know, you guys just keep telling me, keep thinking about what you're grateful for and keep dropping them in the chat every time you think of a new one. DS Duanis says, grateful for day-to-day life. There you go. Rachel Tracy says, I'm grateful for my family's garden and how well we are living and self-sustainable. Nearly off-grid lifestyle in a village of under 20. That's epic. That sounds crazy epic. Walking More Poet says, grateful for Evernote for being the first program I ever used to organize poetry. Evernote's a miracle. I'm so grateful to Evernote. Honestly, it's a miracle. Shouts out to the Evernote creators. Shouts out to them. You know. Yeah. Milton Dan says, my wife gets the kids to all say what they are grateful for that day over dinner, only now realizing the benefit of that practice. Shouts out to you. Savage Gentleman 13 says, you're a king, just as she's a queen, so I don't know where she's tripping from. Keep it real, brother. I mean, that's true. It's true. I agree. Although, you know, I still think if you're a queen, you should be respectful of the people around you. You know what I mean? And don't be shouting into your phone, making other people hear your stupid-ass conversation. I don't care whether you're the queen of, you know, Sweden or you're the queen of the Seattle Autonomous Zone. I don't care what you're the queen of. You should be respectful and not a dickhead. It's not difficult to not be a dickhead. I don't understand it. We might start giving lessons at the Meaning Wave University. You know, at the Meaning Wave Uni, How to Not Be a Dickhead, volumes 1 to 17 in the Meaning Wave University. Volume 1, pay attention to one major key. You could leave life right flipping now.
Hey. In comparing sins, the way that people do, Theophrastus says, those done out of desire are worse than those done out of anger.
Which is good philosophy.
The angry man seems to turn his back on reason out of a kind of pain and in a convulsion. But the man motivated by desire, who is mastered by pleasure, seems somehow more self-indulgent, less manly in his sins. Theophrastus is right and philosophically sound to say the sin committed out of pleasure deserves a harsher rebuke than the one committed out of pain. The angry man is more like a victim of wrongdoing, provoked by pain to anger. The other man rushes into wrongdoing on his own, moved to action by desire. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could leave life right now. You could leave life right now. You could leave life right now. Ooh. Let that determine what you do and say and think.
You could live life right now. You could live life right now. If the gods exist, then to abandon human beings is not frightening. The gods would never subject you to harm. And if they don't exist, or don't care what happens to us, what would be the point of living in a world without gods or providence? But they do exist. They do care what happens to us. And everything a person needs to avoid real harm, they have placed within him. If there were anything harmful on the other side of death, they would have made sure that the ability to avoid it was within you. If it doesn't harm your character, how can it harm your life? Yo! Nature would not overlook such dangers through failing to recognize, though because it's thought and but was powerless to prevent or correct them. Ay. To prevent or correct them. Ay. Nor would it ever, through inability or incompetence, make such a mistake as to let good and bad things happen indiscriminately to good and bad alike. Ay. Good and bad alike. Ay. Good and bad alike. But death and life, success and failure, pain and pleasure, wealth and poverty, all these happen to good and bad alike. Good and bad alike. Good and bad alike. Good and bad alike. But death and life, success and failure, pain and pleasure, all these happen to good and bad alike. And they ain't even noble, no shameful, and hence they're neither good or bad. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could leave life right now. You could leave life right now. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. You could leave life right now. You could leave life right now. Yeah. Da-da. You know, Marcus Aurelius isn't the only person to have ever had that idea. A lot of people have had that idea. A lot of people have talked about that idea. You know, it's a popular idea amongst people who think for more than 3 seconds. Consider death. Consider death. It could be a useful thing to do, you know?
So this is a view of the world as a system of mutual exploitation and of maximal selfishness. Now, it's a very profitable view to explore. Everybody should do in their lifetime sometime. Two things. One is to consider death. To observe skulls and skeletons. Consider death. And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never. That is a very gloomy thing for contemplation, but it's like manure. Just as manure fertilizes the plants and so on. So the contemplation of death and the acceptance of death is very highly generative of creative life. You get wonderful things out of that. And the other thing to contemplate is to follow the possibility of the idea that you are totally selfish. That you don't have a good thing to be said for you at all. You're a complete, utter rascal. You're a complete, utter rascal. Now, the Christians have avoided this. Because although they say in their Episcopalian form of confession that we have erred and strayed from thy ways like lost sheep, and we have followed too much the devices and desires of our own hearts, too much, you know. We have offended against thy holy laws. We have left undone those things we ought to have done, and done those things which we ought not to have done. And there is no health in us.
None.
But it ought to be different. And we're going to do our best to amend with the help of God's grace. That is a real con act. If you equate health with genuine love and perfect unselfishness, then in that sense there is no health in us when we look at ourselves from this point of view. Consider death.
Consider death.
To observe
skulls and skeletons.
Consider death.
Consider death. Yeah.
And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up.
Hey.
Never consider death. To observe
skulls and skeletons.
Consider death.
Consider death.
And to wonder what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Never.
Akira. He's got clout.
Yeah, what up, Mr. Nintendo Joe? Thank you for the support. Says, listen to It's Alright, Ma. I'm only bleeding if you got the time. What is that? Is that a thing? Says, grateful for the music you showed me. Is that a song I should be listening to? I'll check that out. Thank you, Mr. Nintendo Joe. Ow. As the pressure grew. As the pressure grew. How do you, as an international speaker, with all your
how do you cope with all of the pressure?
attention, how do you cope with all the pressure?
And everything that goes on.
And everything that goes on?
Quite easily.
Oh.
From a very basic thing.
Hey.
I know what my intent is. I'm very grounded in it. And I deploy enormous amounts of empathy to my haters.
Hi haters. Hey.
When somebody leaves a comment that I'm a charlatan or a snake oil salesman or my daddy gave me the money to build the liquor store and I shouldn't be listened to, I understand why they say that. I know it's not true. It feeds me in a very good way. And so for me, to be very honest with you, it's been very easy because when your intent is pure about succeeding in very. There are two ways, my friends, to build the biggest building in town. Step number one.
Step number one, just build the biggest building in town. Build the biggest building in town.
Step number one.
Step number one, just build the biggest building in town. You dig? Build the biggest building in town. Hey.
Step number two. Build a decent-sized building and then spend all your time trying to tear everybody else's building around you down so you end up being the biggest building in town. My friend, 95% of people try to do number two. But when you know you can build the fucking biggest building in town, you do that.
You do that.
You do that. And so because I know what my intent is, I just don't value anybody's opinion about me, including my parents and wife and children, more than I value my opinion about myself. Just build the biggest building in town. Build the biggest building in town. Step number one. Step number one. Just build the biggest building in town.
Just build the biggest building in town. You dig?
Just build the biggest building in town. Build the biggest building in town. Step number one. Step number one. Just build the biggest building in town. Build the biggest building in town.
Do it.
I read this New Testament line decades ago. I could never understand it. The line is, the meek shall inherit the earth. And I thought, there's something wrong with that line. It just doesn't make sense to me. Meek just doesn't seem to me to be a moral virtue. Meek is not a good translation. What it means is this. Those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed,
will inherit the world. Yeah, I love you, Rivka Brown. Love you, Rivka Brown.
That's a big difference. It's so great.
You should be a monster.
Yeah.
You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no.
No.
Wrong. You should be a monster. You should be a monster. Absolute monster. And then you should learn how to control it. It's like, is there something wrong with being competitive? There's nothing wrong with it. There's something wrong with cheating. There's something wrong with being a tyrant. There's something wrong with winning unfairly. All of those things are bad. But you don't want people to win.
Yeah.
What's the difference between trying to win and striving? You want to eradicate striving? One definition of a winner is someone who never let losing stop them. Never let losing stop them.
Never let losing stop them, bucko.
You should be a monster.
Yeah, X Hammer 13 Thor. You monster. You monster. Got that bigger, better paying dealership in town. You got the new job. Congratulations, my guy. That's fucking epic. Yeah, make some noise for our guy X Hammer 13 Thor. Got that job.
It's a series of games. And the right ethic is to be the winner of the series of games. And part of that means, well, you have to learn how to be a good loser. Because you're not going to win every single game. You should be a monster.
Yeah. You should be a monster.
Get after it.
You should be a monster.
Well, you gotta get after it.
Hey.
You can pick your level of competition if you like to some degree. So let's say you pick a level of competition where you're always winning. Well, all that means is you pick the wrong level of competition. Let's say you're a grandmaster chess player and all you do is play amateurs, and every night you go home and congratulate yourself on what a genius you are because you just stomp these people left, right, and center. It's like, you're not a genius. You're a dimwit. What you should be doing is playing people who are beating you like as much as you can tolerate. You want to be on the edge where your skills are being developed. There's always a possibility.
Yeah. Well, loss is always a possibility. You should be a monster. You should be a monster. Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Satan.
Yeah.
In Milton's Paradise Lost, Satan decides that he can do without the transcendent. He can do without God. He can do without God. He can do without God. And that's why he foments rebellion. It's something like that. And the consequence of that was that as soon as Satan decided that what he knew was sufficient and that he could do without the transcendent, which you might think about as the domain outside of what you know, something like that, immediately he was in hell. Things get large, and then they get too large, and then they collapse. And so, in 2008, when the politicians said, too big to fail, they got something truly backwards. The statement was reversed.
Perfect.
big.
It should have been so big it had to fail. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. When I read Paradise Lost, I was studying totalitarianism, and I thought, you know, the poet, the true poet, like a prophet, is someone who has intimations of the future. Has intimations of the future. And maybe that's because the poetic mind, the philosophical or prophetic mind, is a pattern detector, and there are people who can detect the underlying, it's like the melody of a nation. Melody as in song. The song of a nation. And can see how it's going to develop across the centuries. You see that in Nietzsche, because Nietzsche, for example, in around 1860 or so, I mean, he prophesied what was going to happen in the 20th century. He said specifically that the specter of communism would kill millions of people in the 20th century. It's an amazing prophecy. Some people are very good at detecting patterns, you know, and Milton, I think, was of that sort. I think he gave intimations of what was coming as human rationality became more and more powerful. Technology became more and more powerful. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. And the Milton's warning was the rational mind that generates a production and then worships it as if it's absolute immediately occupies hell. And that's what I think the story of the Tower of Babel is about. It's a warning against the expansion of a system until it encompasses everything. It's a warning against totalitarian presumption, and so there's a utopian kind of vision there as well, as we can build a structure that's so large and encompassing that it can replace heaven itself. And so that the very notion of a utopia was anti-human, because we're not built for static utopia. We're built for a dynamic situation where there's demands placed on us and where there's the optimal amount of uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty. Human beings don't want utopian comfort and certainty. They want adventure and chaos and uncertainty.
There's one thing you can always be certain of, though. That's the thing. Your boy Elon said it earlier. Most people are good. Most people are good, and when some awful stuff occurs, you know what you can do. Always. Always. You can look for the helpers. Because there will always be helpers. There will always be helpers.
You know, my mother used to say a long time ago, whenever there would be any really catastrophe that was in the movies or on the air, she would say, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers. She would say, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers. You know, even just on the sidelines. That's why I think that if news programs could make a conscious effort of showing rescue teams, of showing medical people, anybody who is coming into a place where there's a tragedy, to be sure that they include that. Because if you look for the helpers, you'll know that there's hope.
Yeah. Shouts out to the helpers. We got mad helpers here tonight. We got mad helpers here tonight. Hey, what up, Vanessa? It's Ivan's wife. Where's he at? Where's Ivan at?
She would say,
always look for the helpers. That's the helper right there. Always be helpers.
She would say,
always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers.
She would say, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers. She would say, always look for the helpers. There will always be helpers.
Yo, happy birthday, Ivan. Even Ivan. Happy birthday, you Batman. We super glad you're here. Training on your lunch break like a G.
Get after it. You gotta get after it.
Shouts out to you, the whole damn nation. Shouts out to your family, your beautiful family. Your beautiful family loves you, and this beautiful family loves you, baby. Live from Mars. Wishing you a happy birthday. Which is guaranteed. Because you made yourself a beautiful life. You know? You took responsibility. You built yourself a damn family, baby.
We need to know who the competent people are, and we need to reward them. And even more importantly, we need to tell young people, hey, there's some hierarchies of competence out there.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 of them. Go be a plumber, man. But be a good one, you know? Be an honest one. Because otherwise all you do is go out there and cause trouble. We don't need people to cause more trouble. We need people to solve
problems. Solve problems. Maybe you could do that. Maybe you could take some personal responsibility. Maybe you could turn yourself into something worthwhile. Take that thing that God gave you and make that thing into the thing it could be. You know, chisel that rock. You know, build that monument.
My mother used to say, long time.
You know, and if you do that, you go turn that rock into that potential statue, then, you know, you might attract to you what you want, you know, and then you might have that life that you want. You know, maybe you could assume responsibility in jumping from rock to rock, maybe, you know what I mean? You could maybe, you know, commit to something or someone, you know, go all in on that someone. Just like you could pick going all in on yourself and making yourself into the best you, maybe you could then find a person and go all in on making the best you both together, you know? Build that thing. You know, like ignore all that nonsense. Ignore all that stuff they tried to attract you with, you know, and just go all in on each other. And then maybe you could make a family, you know, and then maybe that family, you could have some children, you know. Maybe those children could look at you, like, look up to you, because you'd be worth looking up to. You know, that would be a thing. Imagine doing that. Imagine creating a situation where there's you and another person. You've gone all in on each other and you're supporting each other. Imagine how much easier life is if you do that. And then you have some children. Those children look up to you, and the reason they look up to you is because you deserve to be looked up to. And imagine what kind of creatures they're going to become in the world. Imagine what they're going to do. It's so epic, you know what I mean? Imagine, like, a lot of people are scared to grow old, you know, and the reason a lot of people are scared to grow old is because they don't want to be alone, you know, and they don't want to be weak and helpless and all that type of thing. But if you build something powerful and beautiful like that, some kind of beautiful dynasty like that, getting old is just nothing but something incredible to look forward to, because you get to see what you've created and what you've built growing and blossoming. You get to see that garden. You know, that's the garden that you planted. The garden you planted with your discipline, your hard work, your determination, all that, your love, your acts of kindness, those small acts of kindness every day that build up the spine that is your eternal soul, you know, bit by bit, block by block. You know, in such an instance, growing old is nothing but a blessing, nothing but a wonderful thing. To see all that growing around you, you know, to know that you did something useful, you know, that you put some beauty into the world. And that beauty is creating more beauty, because that's what beauty does. Beauty multiplies, you know? Beauty creates more beauty. The more beauty you make, the more beauty exists. The more people see beauty, the more people are inspired by that beauty to create more beauty. And obviously the reverse works too. You know, we're at war. You know, we are at war. We are at war. And you know that, fine citizens of Mars. There is a war going on. It is a spiritual war, and it is a war of like of ugliness versus beauty. You know, and beauty will win because beauty has to win. And the way beauty wins is that you make things beautiful, and you make more beautiful stuff, and you put stuff out there that is beautiful. And the easy way you do that is just by going all in on a thing and doing that thing as well as you can. You know, just pick a thing and just do that thing as wonderfully as you can, with as much love as you can, with as much purpose as you can, with as much pride as you can, you know?
We need to know who the competent people are, and we need to reward them. And even more importantly, we need to tell young people, hey, there's some hierarchies of competence out there. Like 1,000 of them. Go be a plumber, man. Be a good one, you know? Be an honest one. Because otherwise all you do is go out there and cause trouble. We don't need people to cause more trouble. We need people to solve problems. Solve problems. Solve problems. We need people to solve problems. Solve problems. Solve problems. We don't need people to cause more trouble. We need people to solve problems. Solve problems. Solve problems. Go be a plumber, man.
Go on. Go on, baby.
Go be a plumber, man. Be a good one, you know?
MEANINGWAVE University in session in that MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Go be a plumber, baby. Happy birthday, Ivan.
You know, and so you can be a tradesman, and you can make a lot of money as a tradesperson. It's a bloody, reliable, honorable, forthright, productive way of making a living.
Yeah. Smash that like, baby. Smash that like. That's the price of entry here at Maz. Smash that like. That's the currency, baby.
Who knows what he's doing?
That and smiling at your neighbors, you know?
Both in terms of skill and ethics, right? And you work with someone who knows what they're doing. It's a bloody pleasure. They tell you what they're going to do. They tell you how much it will cost. They go and do it. It works, and you pay them. Perfect. Everyone's happy. And that's what happens when you have genuine hierarchies of competence.
Yo, make some noise for genuine hierarchies of competence, baby. Make some noise for discipline. Make some noise for the plumbers, but the good ones, you know, the good plumbers. Shouts out to Mario. You know, he's a damn good plumber, and he rescued that princess. What a guy.
We don't need people to cause more trouble. We need people to solve problems. Solve problems.
Didn't he rescue her from a dragon of chaos or some shit too? You know what I mean? Bap, bap. You dig?
To solve problems.
We need people to solve problems. We need people to solve problems.
We don't need people to cause more trouble.
No more trouble, baby.
We need people to solve problems. Solve problems.
Yeah.
Go be a plumber, man. Go be a plumber, man. Go be a plumber, man.
Be a good one, you know?
Be a good one, you know? Be a good one, you know?
And, you know, that's just some excellent advice. And that happened to be the first, the official first entry in the MEANINGWAVE universe. You know, since we're doing that MEANINGWAVE University here today on the subject of gratitude, I guess, is the subject? Is that the subject? It seems to be, you know? Ooh. Things are crashing over there. Anyway, yeah, gratitude, you know, major key. But yeah, we were just talking about, you know, assuming responsibility and going all in on things. And someone had a good question. Marionette says, can't I just be a cool uncle, Akira? And we talked about this the other day. Sometimes that's the most important thing you can be, because some people got shit parents. Some people are no good at being parents, you know, for whatever reason. They're not doing a very good job of it. And that is when the cool uncle is really, really important and really necessary. And hey, also, Sometimes it's not even that they're shit parents. Sometimes they're busy parents. Sometimes they're overworked parents. Sometimes life is very difficult. Sometimes they single parents with no assistance and they trying to do 3 jobs and all sorts of crazy shit. And that's when the cool uncle or the cool auntie or the cool neighbor or the cool godfather is so important. You can make such a huge difference in the life of a child, you know, by helping them out, giving them some advice, being a good example in their life. And it doesn't even have to be for long. You could pop in there for a week, one summer, and you could change your kid's life forever. You know, that when you're a kid, man, things are so important. Those summers when you're a kid, they go on forever, but you could have one encounter in one of those summers and that could change your whole life, change your whole perspective. You know what I mean? So yeah, there is no can I just be a cool uncle, Akira? You know, you could be a cool uncle and that could be the most powerful thing you could ever do. You know, so definitely is the answer to that. And shouts out to you. Shouts out to Cameron Smith, says you the man, Akira. You the man, Cameron Smith. You the man, Cameron Smith. That's the anthem, put your damn hands up. Brup, brup. Makes noise for Cameron Smith. You know, what a guy. D.S. Duenas, what a guy. You know, D.S. Duenas. Best community or what, mate? Are you mad, blood? Best community or what? This is Maz. This is that Meaning Wave Autonomous Zone. This is the greatest country on earth. This is the greatest community, the greatest nation, the greatest collection of individuals. You know what I mean? On this damn planet, baby. What a James Scon says, birthday stream. Is it your birthday too? Is it your birthday also? We got multiple birthdays in the house or what? What is going on? If that is the case, then damn, baby. If it is the case, then happy birthday, but I should probably wait on confirmation of that because you want to be dishing out happy birthdays when it's not really the birthday, you know? Happy birthdays are powerful things. They're important things. Yeah. Roberto Sanchez says, reminds me of JBP, being the cool uncle, helping his nephew getting over his nightmares. Go after the dragon. Yeah, exactly, you know? Damn nightmares. Nightmares is, you know, very common. Hercules has nightmares every night. And what's interesting is when my wife, sometimes she puts him to bed and she falls asleep there. So she sleeps in the same room as him sometimes. And whenever she does, she has nightmares. She shares those nightmares, like that nightmare thing. It creeps into her dreams. And it makes sense that kids have tons of nightmares because you're working out a lot of stuff. You know, when you go dreamy time. So, I mean, different people have different ideas about what dreams are and what's going on. But some people say that what you're doing in your dreams is processing the waking life. And the dreaming life, part of what's going on there is processing that waking life. Well, when you were a little kid, you got a lot of processing to be doing, man. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of new stuff happening all the time. There's a lot of things for you to process. So it makes complete sense that you would have a lot of nightmares. But it is very interesting that whenever my wife sleeps in that room with that little boy, you know, she gets them nightmares too. I don't know what that means. I'm sure Jung would have some thoughts on that. And I don't want to know what Freud would think of that, because Freud can go shut his mouth, frankly. Freud, we don't want to hear from you, currently. I guess it would be rude to play this instrumental and not play the whole song, huh? I think it probably would. Milton Dan is in the house. He says, Maz, competent plumbers, fixing blockages, maintaining the flow. That's right, baby. MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone, competent plumbers. That's the lifeblood of this community. James Scon says, not my birthday, sorry, directing more birthday hype to Ivan. Well, there you go. More birthday hype to Ivan coming from James Scon. Yeah, birthday hype, baby. That's that righteousness. I love it when we have birthdays here at Maz, you know, here at the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. I love a good birthday. We celebrate life here, that's what we do. And what's more awesome than celebrating an individual life, as it has an anniversary of you know, being here. Thank you for being here.
I've had situations in my lab where I had underperforming graduate students, and one of the things that was really awful about that was that it was really hard on the high-performing graduate students, you know, because they felt that even being in the same category as the people who weren't working hard and pulling their weight devalued what they were doing.
You know, and that's exactly right. And so this is also why there's a conscientiousness trait and an agreeableness trait. Because conscientious people judge you on your accomplishments, right? They don't give a damn about your feelings. Not a bit. It's like, are you doing the work or not? Whereas agreeable people think, well, you know, your mother's sick and you've got a bunch of family problems and we all have to take care of each other and it's no wonder that you're having a rough time. Like, you can't say that one of those attitudes is correct and the other isn't correct. You can't say that. There wouldn't be those two dimensions if there wasn't something correct about both of them. But you can certainly point out that often they conflict. So the demand for inclusiveness and unity and care and the demand for high-level performance in a hierarchical structure are very different orientations in the world. And so it's complicated for people who are agreeable and conscientious. Agreeable and conscientious. Agreeable and conscientious. Agreeable and conscientious. Agreeable and conscientious.
Yeah, baby.
One of the things that happens very often in psychotherapy, you know, people come to psychotherapy for multiple reasons, but one of them is they often come because they're too agreeable. And so what they get is so-called assertiveness training, although it's not exactly assertiveness that's being trained. What it is the ability to learn how to negotiate on your own behalf. And one of the things I tell agreeable people, especially if they're conscientious, is say what you think. Tell the truth about what you think. There's going to be things you think that you think are nasty and harsh. And they probably are nasty and harsh, but they're also probably true. And you need to bring those up to the forefront and deliver the message. And it's not straightforward at all, because agreeable people do not like conflict. Not at all. They smooth the water. It takes a lot of conflict to solve problems in the short term. That can spiral up to where it's dangerous, which it can if it gets uncontrolled. It might be safer in the short term to keep the water smooth and to not delve into those situations where conflict emerges. The problem with that is it's not a very good medium to long-term strategy. So lots of times there are things you have to talk about because they're not going to go away. Agreeable and conscientious. 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 And so partly what you do with agreeable people is you get them to figure out, and they have a hard time with this too. If you ask a disagreeable person what he wants, say, or she wants, they'll tell you right away. They know. It's like, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to get it. But agreeable people, especially if they're really agreeable, are so agreeable that they often don't even know what they want, because they're so accustomed to living for other people and to finding out what other people want and to trying to make them comfortable and so forth, that it's harder for them to find a sense of their own desires as they move through life. Agreeable and conscientious. Agreeable and conscientious.
Hey.
Agreeable and conscientious.
Yo, what's cracking? Who make some noise in the chat if you agreeable.
Agreeable and conscientious.
If you are agreeable, make some noise in the chat.
Agreeable and conscientious.
And if you're agreeable and conscientious, then make a lot.
Agreeable.
A lot.
Agreeable and conscientious.
Yeah.
Agreeable and conscientious.
Yeah. Yo, this next one is controversial, and people would send me messages all the time, completely misunderstanding it. So I would like you all to pay attention, and just pay attention. I don't understand how people get this confused. We can talk about it afterwards if anyone is confused. Listen to this record. If anyone is confused, then let me know, and we'll talk about it. Okay?
Akira. He's got clout.
Yeah.
Clout.
Rubik's Boats says he's too agreeable. Yeah. Says I've had to pay for it. It's a high price, baby. Might be worth it in the end, though. I don't know. Ooh. Yeah. Pum pum pum. Pum pum pum.
are. It's the beginning of another great day. A sunny, summer day. It's the best day for from Norm Macdonald. And he says this. The idiot sees the world as good versus evil. The cynic sees the world as evil versus evil. The truth that no one seems to be able to see is that the world is, and always has been, a battle of good versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Versus good. Wow. This is actually really profound. This is the situation we find ourselves in. There are not two sides in which one is good and one is evil. There are two sides in which one said it is good and it believes incorrectly that the other one is evil. But both sides are pretty sure that their version of the world is the good one.
Wow.
The world is, and always has been, a battle of good
versus
good.
Yeah. Good. Versus good. Good. Versus good. You gonna say? You gonna say?
You're gonna say good.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
Good.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the chat what we're seeing. Yeah. I've been going on and on again, better said they done again. Pissing up my mom again. I'm a size updated, I'ma smoke me a fat. Which I mean a cigarette, you Americans, that's bad. Do I look like Beanie Man? Well, I wish that I did. He's a handsome devil and I like better looking kids. Only joking, my unborn sport, you're gonna be hot and wrestling. Yo. Shall stop rapping Akira The Don. We're gonna talk about the people. Man, I just got caught up in the beat. Ooh. Yeah. Show Rhino says paving the way with good intention. Mr. Nintendo Joe says thank you. Fernie McFlurry says meme magic. Gregory Witcher, I love this one. Matt Crittenden, what up Matt Crittenden? What up Matt? What happened to Matt Damon? Did you bury the body? Scott Pilgrim versus Scott Adams. Oh, we had yeah. We had Nurture. We got some stuff in the chat. Akira versus himself. Dan Frank, nature be nurture. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, you know? Exactly. Evil versus evil. Good versus good. Good. Anyway, that was Scott Adams. People say, Akira The Don, that song's stupid. Evil's real. No, that's not the point, though. Hey, thanks. Shouts out to my old man on the backing vocals there. Point being is that in most instances, particularly like what you're seeing right now, both sides of these arguments are completely convinced that they are in the right. Completely convinced that they are correct. Completely convinced, by the way, emphasis on convinced. There's usually some convincing going on, and people are often a lot more easily convinced than they would like to think. That's why you gotta have that radical empathy, baby. You know, and I know it's difficult to have radical empathy when you've got some zombies smashing up your stuff. You know what I mean? Turning your city into a shithole. I ain't saying it's easy, baby. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Nothing particularly useful is that easy neither. apart from vibe regulation, I mean, that's super easy, baby. But only because I put in decades of suffering to get to the point of vibe regulation being easy. Ooh. Yeah. Walking more posts, radical empathy power. Prince Jabrika's XV says there was a time when I was certain that I was the authority on all things. That was not a good time. Right? The older I grow, the more I know that I don't know shit. Yeah. Incidentally, this is a song called Hypocrite. I wonder if I can remember it. I wonder if I can remember the words to this song. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, this is AK Donovan going on and on again about the stuff they done again. Pissing off my mom again. Now my site's updated. I'ma smoke me a fag. Which, I mean, cigarette Americans, that's bad. Do I look like Beanie Man? Well, I wish that I did. He's a handsome devil and I devil like better looking kids. Only joking. Unborn spawn. You're gonna be hot unless I smoke too many what? Drops off. Back to the point, which is me, ACD, Adam, Enemy, ICZ, UCZ, everything, but the boys in the band, the girl from the band, but they do not talk to me because they team me up. That'll talk, so maybe really, I better talk. Reason I went started with that, I better when I talk to make it right. But I don't really smell the sort of start. I started the DJ, made some gigs, and I'm back on the motherfucking six, cause I'm right up in the thick of it. Weed plus tobacco smoke, sweet like licorice. Look at this, fucking up again, it's unsightly. I might be about to go join Richard Whiteley. Oh. Yeah. What was that next line? I keep it hidden like the Ark of the Covenant, but I told more lies than the motherfucking government. Now where your mother went, I need to ask about the Ark. I can't be kept in the dark. Now the Ark was made of shit and blood, no shit and blood. Dripping in the kitchen and ambition, but I really should probably not be a pop star. Might serve more use training as a doctor. Maybe like a cop, right? My pup says that I should quit. He says... And I admit my chosen career is steeped in vanity. Profanity per second, now I'm questioning my sanity. Grandma may be right, profanity can it be excused? Neighbor uses the tools at your battery, the battery. Way back in that valley, she said I would be causing the calamity. I'm causing the calamity, so fuck a galaxy. I'd rather be Ramesses. I just stop building palaces on top of where Dallas is. Alice is right down that rabbit hole. I'm in there with her, I'm all a quiver, but I really ain't got nothing to give her except for all people alive in the world. I tell her fuck you fella and I'll never have her, I never go, cause I'm a hypocrite. Yeah, weed plus tobacco smoke, sweet like licorice. Look at this, fucking up again, it's unsightly. I might be about to go join Richard Whiteley. Hypocrite, baby, I'm a hypocrite. Stop asking me, you know I'm fucking sick of it. Tell me fuck me up, well fucking invite me. I might be, what is it? Yeah, barrel, I'll be the, church hour. I'm on site every night and I'll be the first to be like, why when despite ignites fight, size limited. I like to say I rule better, best not, there's a reason. Call me and my ethical despot. Hey, something about pubic hair while I'm pissing in the sink. And I can't blame the drink, cause the drink don't fucking think. That's supposed to be my job and I'm doing it quite badly at the present. What a puzzle, with a line. The environment and hardly recycle. I have cats who catch just and two damn ladies to cycle. Michael Mason BICD, but then again I might just let my lightly and I've still got 5 fucking pairs of Nikes, cause I'm a hypocrite, right up in the thick of it. Weed plus tobacco smoke, sweet like licorice. Look at this, I got beginners and slightly just like me. Tried about to do the right thing, look how it's spiked loose. Baby, I'm a hypocrite, stop asking me about Natalie. You know I'm fucking sick of it. Forces them to lock me up, well fuck it, then fight me. I might be about to go join Richard Whiteley. And that's the guy that's dead that most of you probably never heard of. Shouts out to Richard Whiteley. That guy's dead. Yo, man, I forgot about that record. I forgot all about that record and then I just rapped it. And I remembered about 72% of the words. That's not bad. That's not terrible. Remembering 72% of the words for one of your old songs. I'm going to play a song that most of y'all have never been heard because I ain't never released it. Because I ain't got the rights yet. Oh. Shouts out to the whole damn crew. Hang on. You better just let me pop in that chat, see what people are saying. Patricia Dockery says Akira the Wordsmith. Milman Dan, still ATD. Yeah. That boy's still in there, you know. I used to rap mad fast, you know. I'd be rapping mad fast. I got the bigger bush. Get the mic far too posh. All that. You know, I trained myself to rap by doing that agada bigada exercise. That was one of the things I did. I would sit there just going agada bigada until I could do it. Because that's what drum and bass MCs did. And I came up in London. You know, we had drum and bass MCs. They go shabba agada bass over the place, like that type of thing. You know what I mean? They'd be talking about that nonsense. A lot of those drum and bass MCs, they literally just make up stuff when they was freestyling and just be like, like that. And it'd be like 1% word and mostly agada bigada. And I was really inspired by that, you know, agada bigada stuff. But then I wanted to put words in it, you know, and that shit difficult. But I did it, baby. I did it. That's one of the ways I used to spend a lot of my time, you know? Making it raps. Regulating the vibes in that fashion. Rubik's Bow S says, putting together my new boa constrictor enclosure. Well done, keeps the vibes regulated. That's crazy. You putting together a boa constrictor enclosure for the boa constrictor. Have you got a boa constrictor, or are you just getting an enclosure just in case one happens, you know, to come by? You know? That's crazy. Shouts out to the whole damn crew. Shouts out to Maz, that MEANINGWAVE autonomous zone. We got people constructing enclosures for boa constrictors. What the heck? What's everybody doing anyway? And all that. That's crazy. I mean, this Nintendo Joe says more lies than the government. Yeah. Rachel Tracy's the healthiest verse of all time. Very healthy verse, yes. You know. Nice thing is, though, all of the hypocritical stuff I was talking about in that song, I don't do none of that anymore. So that's cool. That's great. I cleansed myself of all of them sins, which is nice. I mean, that's the first step to redemption, you know? You got to admit the thing. Write it down. If old memories still make you cry, you know, if shit you doing still makes you cringe, write that shit down. Hey.
The three transformations of the spirit. That's Nietzsche. That's the prologue to Thus Spake Zarathustra. When you are a child, when you are young, you are a camel. The camel gets down on its knees and says, put a load on me. This is obedience. This is receiving the instruction and information that your society knows you must have in order to live a competent life. When the camel is well loaded, he gets up on his feet and runs out into the desert, where he becomes transformed into a lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of the lion is to kill the dragon. And the name of the dragon is Thou Shalt. And on every scale of the dragon there is a Thou Shalt imprinted. Some of it comes from 2,000 years, 4,000 years ago. Some of it comes from yesterday morning's newspaper headline. When the dragon is killed, the lion is transformed into a child. An innocent child living out of its own dynamics. Nietzsche uses the term ein aus sich rollendes Rad, a wheel rolling out of its own center. That's what you become. That is the mature individual. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of the lion is to kill the dragon. The Thou Shalt is a civilizing force. It turns a human animal into a civilized human being. But then the one who was thrown off the thou shalt is still a civilized human being. You see, he has been humanized, you might say, by the thou shalt system. So his performance now as a child is not simply childlike at all. He has assimilated the culture and thrown it off as a thou shalt. But this is the way in any artwork. You go to work and study an art. You study the techniques. You study all the rules. And the rules are put upon you by a teacher. Then there comes a time of using the rules, not being used by them. Do you understand what I'm saying? The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. The function of the line is to kill the dragon. The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. Hey. The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. The heavier the load, the more powerful the line. The function of the line is to kill the dragon.
Welcome to Meaning Wave University. Here at Maz, baby, we're going in. I'm mad grateful for, I'm super grateful. I am grateful for Joseph Campbell in general, you know. Super grateful for Joseph Campbell. Super grateful for Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche. That song's called Zarathustra's Prologue. That is unreleased. I look forward to one day releasing it when we secure the rights, you know. Yeah. Grateful for the day, baby. I'm grateful for Scott Adams. You know, Scott Adams, aside from his own books, he shared this great reading list, this wonderful, wonderful reading list. That was, he called it the Persuasion Reading List. You know, it was basically a series of books helped to get you good at persuasion, you know. And it's like a semester. He organized it like a real good university, you know. And the first semester was like 10 books, and the idea of those books were to convince you that people are very persuadable, you know, because you're not going to be able to persuade anybody if you don't believe that people are persuadable. And one of those books was called The Power of Habit, you know, and that taught me a lot of what I know about habits now and utilize, you know, the power of habits, how you can use habits to really like level up your life by introducing useful habits, you know, and removing useless ones. And the first step to doing that is just to pay attention to them, you know, just have a look, just do an audit. You know, I do a quarterly audit and I do a monthly mini one, a quarterly big one. I check in, I go, what am I doing? Habitually. And oftentimes I'll be doing stupid shit that's not useful. You know what I mean? And like I was talking about earlier, sometimes I will have had a good habit and I didn't even realize it, and then I'll have lost it, you know? So habits are good, man. And I got a real nice song with Naval about just that thing.
Human beings are entirely creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Young children are born with no habit loops. They're essentially born as blank slates. And then they habituate themselves to things and they learn patterns and they get conditioned and they use that to get through everyday life. And habits are good. Habits are good. Habits are good. Habits can allow you to background process certain things. Habits are good so that your frontal lobe stays available to solve brand new problems. So unconsciously pick up habits in the background and we keep them for decades and we may not realize that they're bad for us. So we're ready to move on from them. To some extent, you know, our attitude in life, our mood, our happiness levels, depression levels, these are also habits. Do we judge people? How often do we eat? What kinds of food do we eat? Do we walk or do we sit? Do we move? Do we exercise? Do we read? Do we read? Do we read? These are habits as well. You absolutely need habits to function. You cannot solve every problem in life as if it's the first time it's thrown at you. these habits, we put them in the bundle of identity, ego, ourselves, and then we get attached to that. I'm Shane, this is the way I am. I'm Paul, this is the way I am. It's really important to be able to uncondition yourself, to be able to take your habits apart and say, oh, okay, well, that's a habit that I probably picked up from when I was a toddler and I was trying to get my parents' attention. And now I've just reinforced it and reinforced it and reinforced it, and I call it part of my identity. But is it serving me anymore? Is it making me happier? Is it making me healthier? Is it making me accomplish whatever I want to set out to accomplish right now? And so I think you can uncondition yourself. You can untrain yourself. It's just harder. It takes work. It takes effort. And usually the big habit changes come when there's strong desire motivators attached to them. Habits are good. Habits are good. Habits are good. Habits are good.
That's all them habits, baby. That song was amusing me then. I was finding it difficult to listen to it without thinking of hobbits. And I was like, yeah, hobbits are good too. Hobbits are good. And that's one of them things that often really annoys me. My wife will do that. She'll like spot a thing in one of my songs and it'll sound like I'm saying something and she'll say that and it'll be funny. I'll be like, don't you spoil my song. But like, I like the idea. Hobbits are good. Because they are. Come on, hobbits are so good. Was there ever a bad hobbit? Don't say Gollum. He was perverted by the power of the ring. You know what I mean? That's what messed up Gollum. He wasn't inherently bad or evil. You know what I mean? It was that goddamn ring that messed him up. You know what I mean? Because you saw that shit happening to Frodo too. That ring was like, you know what I mean? In the darkness, bind them. You know what I mean? We're seeing a lot of that going on right now. You know, we see a lot of that in the darkness, bind them. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful not to just like project the evil of the ring of like, you know, Sauron and that shit onto those poor little golems. You know what I mean? I think those golems, there's a bunch of those little golems, we could save them maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe if we brought them into Maz and exposed them to the epic power of MEANINGWAVE, we could save some of them little golems. You know what I mean? And maybe then they'd stop being so, you know, wretched. You know? Shit. Oh, what a glorious thing. Making it beautiful. Make it beautiful. You know what I mean? That's one thing you can do with habits, you know what I mean? You can set in place a whole bunch of habits that will help you to, you know, bring that beauty into the world that we were talking about earlier, because beauty will save the world. That's what Dostoevsky said, you know what I mean? And like, he wasn't no thickie, you know what I mean? He was a smart cookie. He was a smart cat. He said beauty will save the world. So how's about we make it beautiful, huh?
You know, without that beauty, there's no call to higher being. You know, this is also why, you know, I've mentioned to people that they should clean up their rooms. It's become quite the internet meme. But I'm really serious about it because it's really hard to do that. And it isn't just that you clean it up. You also make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Yeah. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. It's really hard to make something beautiful. Make it beautiful. It's really worthwhile. Make it beautiful. It's really hard to make something beautiful. Make it beautiful.
How's that?
It's really worthwhile. What's really cool is if you learn to make something beautiful, even one thing, if you can just make one thing in your life beautiful, then you've established a relationship with beauty. And then you can start to expand that relationship with beauty out into the world, like into other elements of your life. And that is so worthwhile. It's just incredibly, crazily worthwhile. Make it beautiful.
Yeah.
Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. It's really hard to make something beautiful. Make it beautiful. But it's really worthwhile. Make it beautiful. It's really hard to make something beautiful. Make it beautiful. But it's really worthwhile. People are terrified of it. People are terrified of color. They paint their walls beige. They're terrified of art. They buy some mass-produced thing because they don't want anybody laughing at them for their lack of taste. And they would get laughed at because they have no taste. But you have to, well, it's right. Because what do you know, right? You have to develop
help it. And so you're going to stumble along and make mistakes to begin with. And you're going to show yourself, because if you find, I think this is pretty, and somebody comes over and goes, hey, what's up with you? It's kind of hard on your self-esteem, but it's you're stumbling towards the right, you're stumbling towards the kingdom of God. That's what you're stumbling towards when you try to make an aesthetic decision. Make it beautiful.
Wait.
Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful. Make it beautiful.
Yeah.
Make it beautiful.
It's really hard to make something beautiful.
Make it beautiful.
And it's really worthwhile.
Make it beautiful.
It's really hard to make something beautiful.
Make it beautiful.
And it's really worthwhile. Yeah. Shouts out to the chat. Shouts out to the grateful chat. The chat's just being all cute and grateful. If you're listening to this on the replay and you're not looking at the chat, the chat's being real grateful. It's very nice, Joshua Barcine says, share the stream, guys. You never know, it'll hit the right person at the right time. It'll propel them forward. We should be lights for all our loved ones, and so forth and so on. That's correct, Joshua Barcine, you smart cookie. You. God bless you. God bless you, baby. Where'd all that gratitude go? It's back up here. You read. DS Joanna says, grateful for chat. Yeah, shouts out to you. Mr. Nintendo Joe says, grateful for the Beatles, even Ringo. Fuck Ringo. Ringo gets so much shade. What else did your boy Nintendo Joe say that was actually smart and worth saying? Mr. Nintendo Joe says, Kim Kardashian a hobbit. No, it wasn't that. That's just rude. Don't be rude about Kanye West's wife. That's mean. God bless. Yeah. Pippin was a bit of a mess up, says Mr. Nintendo Joe. Yeah, but, he wasn't evil, was he? You know what I mean? He just needed a bit of discipline. That Pippin. Yeah, Sauron, that's it, was evil, but an idiot. No guards on Mount Doom, come on. This is the point I'm always trying to make, right? I got homies who are, deep in certain conspiratorial worlds, And they're, mad worried about the evil powers that be, the puppet mastery type dudes and all that type of business. And I'm like, yo, look, come on. Right? If they were that good, they'd have had this thing sewn up years ago. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's evil. There are, I don't know. Let me go back on the evil. Yeah, there's evil in the world. There's definitely evil in the world. There's malevolence, there's evil, there's awfulness. And there's people who are trying to orchestrate things and do horrible things. Some of them, maybe they think they're doing it for good reasons. Others are just corrupted by the ring. Whatever, baby. But here's the thing. They ain't that smart. Because if they were that smart, they'd have had this thing locked up years ago, and they haven't. And every time they try and implement something that's supposed to do something, it ends up having the opposite result. You know what I mean? The internet's supposed to enslave us, apparently, yet it frees us in so many ways. It brings us all together. It allows us to create MAZ, the Meaning Wave Autonomous Zone. You know what I mean? No guards at Mount Doom. Come on, that's always what happens. What was it your boy Grant Morrison used to say? They could put cameras on every corner, but nothing's going to stop the guards jacking off half the time. Yo. Hey. Yeah. Some people don't know that this is 4 songs, 3 songs, 20 songs. This was one of the first songs I ever wrote. Goes like this. I woke about 9, opened up my eyes, figured it's time to rise. I threw the curtains open wide, I peeked outside, the weather was fine. I knew that was a sign that today would be a good day. Put the CD on, I jumped in the shower, splashed and washed till I'm fresh like a flower. Next grab a towel and I dry myself up. I grab my vest cause yes, it's time to get dressed. I rocked white socks, boo-boo boxes, clean white jeans, and this amazing white top what zips down the side of my neck to my left shoulder blade. Feel like I just got paid today, yeah. Brushed my teeth and my hair, then I popped my contacts in. And I binned the containers, put on my trainers, out the front door, waved hi to the neighbors. Oh, what a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing, get to have a whole day. Oh, what a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing, get to have a whole day. So I hop on my stolen bike and ride down the Kingsland Road. Woo. Bouncing over speed bumps, cars bump pedals. The way I ramp that blank, I deserve a freaking medal. Petrol fumes, illumes as my bike zooms. I get stuck behind a bus, it's rough and a cough. Reminds me, when the sun is blistering, I really ought to take an antihistamine. As I get stressed again, I seize how to split my vest again. I vex my dress till under breast again. No way, passes, I drop by the office. Check out my email, females blowing up my inbox. Boom. Soon though, I'm up again. Headed to the park, hook up with my people. We kick ball until it's dark, then I'm off to rock a show. Yeah, baby, kicking dope rhymes in the summertime. Oh, what a glorious thing. Waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing. You get to have a whole day. Oh, what a glorious thing. Waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing. You get to have a whole. Hey, hey, come on now. All together now, mass. Oh, hey, yo, skibbity bop bop bada boop bop bada boop boop. What's up, chat? Oh, what a glorious thing. Waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing. You get to have the whole day. Hey, oh, what a glorious thing. Waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing. You get to have the whole day. Yeah, that's right, chap. Waking up in the morning is indeed ace. Of course, if I was to write that song now, it'd be like, woke about 6. Yeah, I might have to do it. Yeah, I might have to do that. Yeah, I woke about 6, streaming on Twitch. Yeah. Woke about 6, by 7 a.m. I was streaming on Twitch every day for all the people. Maz, shouts out to the guy that built that steeple on the Church of Meaning. Oh, what a feeling. Hey. Yeah, baby, that's how we rock now. I'll be getting up at 6 in the morning, baby. I'm doing that Twitch show. Twitch at 7 a.m. every morning. MEANINGWAVE vibes at 7 in the morning every day. Did you know that? Maybe you didn't know that. Maybe you were not aware, but now you are, baby. And, I just got to do a big shout out to the chat. I got to do a big shout out to everybody locked in, and I got to do a major league shout out. A major league shout out to the gods. Yeah, it's that Meaning Stream, number 92, the Gratitude Show. We just mad grateful, baby. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Here at the peak of recorded human civilization. Here at Maz, the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. You know, we all together in here. It's just beautiful, baby. Come on. I had good grandparents, a good mother and father, a good sister, good teachers, good servants, relatives, friends, nearly everything good. And I never lost control of myself with any of them. Although I had it in me to do that, and I might have easily. But thanks to the gods, I was never put in that position. And so I escaped that test. I was never put in that position. And so I escaped that test. And then I wasn't longer raised by my granddad's girlfriend. I didn't lose my virginity too early and didn't enter adulthood until it was time. Hell, I put it up. That I had someone as a ruler and father who could keep me from arrogance, to live in a palace without bodyguards, without fancy dresses or torches or statues or such like show that you can live much like a regular person, not remiss in action or careless or ruler when carrying out official obligations. I had the kind of brother I did, one whose character challenged me to improve my own, one whose love and affection enriched my whole life. That my children weren't born stupid or physically deformed, that I wasn't more talented, rhetoric or poetry could have consumed me if I had said progress might never have given them up, that I conferred on the people who brought me up, the honors that they seemed to want early on, instead of putting them off since they were still young, with the hope that I'd do it later, that I knew Apollonius and Rusticus
Maximus. That I was shown clearly and often what it would be like to live as nature requires. Thanks to the gods, they did all they could through the gifts that helped their inspiration to ensure that I could live as nature demands. Thanks to the gods, they did all they could through the gifts that helped their inspiration to ensure that I could live as nature demands. And if I fail, it's no one's fault but mine, 'cause I didn't pay attention to what they told me, to what they taught me, practically step by step, that my body has held out for so long through such a life, that I never laid a finger on Benedicta or Theodotus. Even later I was overcome by passion, I recovered, even though I often quarreled with Rusticus. I never did nothing that I regretted later. I know my mother died young. She spent her last years with me, and if I ever wished to help someone in need, I was never told that I had nothing mean, that I was never put in that position myself, of having to take something from somebody else, that I had the wife I do, obedient, loving, humble, that my children had competent teachers, and for the remedy shown me in dreams, when I was coughing blood, when my head was spinning, spinning, spinning. When I had an inclination to philosophy, I didn't fall into the hands of any sophist, that I didn't waste my time on rises of history or on the resolution of syllogisms, or occupy myself about the investigation of appearances in the heavens. For all these things require the help of the gods and fortune. Thanks to the gods, they did all they could through the gifts that helped their inspiration to ensure that I could live as nature demands. Thanks to the gods, they did all they could through the gifts that help their inspiration to ensure that I could live as nature demands. To ensure that I could live as nature demands. Yo, thanks to the Maz. Thank you to Maz. Thank you to the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Thank you to everybody locked in. Thank you, DS Duenas. And thank you, DS Duenas Mama. R.I.P. Mama. I too am grateful that she saw you graduate and saw you dating your wife. And you know, she sees you, baby, wherever she is. She sees you, and she sees you what a king you are. She sees what a king she raised. You know? And we're grateful to her. We're grateful to all the mamas of all of our MEANINGWAVE brothers and sisters who raised these beautiful beings that are gathered here today, gathered here before us, gathered here amongst us, gathered here together with us at Maz, that MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Shouts out to all the fathers who raised their children right, who stayed, and who acted as excellent examples.
That's the most powerful thing you can do, is be that example. You know, be that example, be that template, be that reason for being. That's the most powerful thing you can do, baby. Be the best you can be. Be that fully, 100% you. 100% optimal, ultimate you. That's the best thing you can do. Best thing you can do, baby. That's all we ask. That's all we ask here at Maz, you know. Come in here, baby, and be the best you can be. That ain't much to ask, is it? You know what I mean? We don't ask you to do nothing. We don't want you to go out there and break nothing. We don't want you to hurt nobody. You know, we just want you to be the 100% best you can be, baby. That's all we want you. That's all God wants. That's all anyone with your best interests in mind wants. That's all anyone with the best interests of us as a thing wants. Anyone who says otherwise, they're capping and they're up to something creepy, baby. Don't pay attention to them. Yeah. Shouts out to everyone who's supporting this thing, supporting this wave. You know, without you, there ain't nothing. You know, I can't do this shit without your support, baby. What am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Shouts out to Cosmic Finds. Shouts out to CDRTEJ. Shouts out to One Slick Mama and Mr. Nintendo Joe. X Hammer 13 Thor. Honestly, I could have cried when I read that message, because X Hammer 13 Thor been telling us about, you know, his trials and tribulations with trying to get a better job that pays him better because he deserves it, you know. And he got it, baby. He sent us that message and let us know, and that was a beautiful thing to read, you know. X Hammer 13 Thor says, I appreciate your music mixes that have helped through some rough times. Good news, I will be working at a bigger and better paying dealership in town. I got the new job today. Carry on, Akira The Don. Isn't that beautiful? That filled my heart with such joy. He says, I decided to
get after it.
Yeah. And that's all you got to do, baby. It's just a decision. You know, it's just a decision that you make. You're going to get after it or not. You're going to do it or not. You're going to go forth. You're going to be mighty, or you're going to sit around bitching. You know? And I would always suggest to go forth and be mighty. I mean, that's pretty much what I suggest every day to everybody I come across, really. Thank you, One Slick Mama. Thank you, Mr. Nintendo Joe. Says, listen to Jam on Revenge album. Okay, I will check that out. Jam on Revenge album. Marionette, thank you. Thank you, Cameron Smith. Thank you, D.S. Duenas. Thank you, James Scott. Thank you, Walking Mole Poet. Thank you, everyone who supports this thing. If you want to support the wave, you can always go over to meaningwave.com and buy yourself some shirts. You can always go to Bandcamp and download some music. You can always join the channel. You can always become a patron. You can always smash that like, and you can always ring your mum and tell her the good news. Meaning Wave exists. Hurrah! The thing we always wanted to exist exists. That music that edifies your soul and your heart and your mind and all that thing, and is also jamming. It's also hard. It's also beautiful and excellent and all the things. My God, it exists. Finally, it exists. Not only does it exist, but that guy who makes it puts out music every week. Every single week he puts out music. And not only does he put out music, he DJs on the internet. It's crazy. And not only does he DJ on the internet, he doesn't do it once in a while. He does it every day. Not only does he do it every day, he does it twice a day. He does it in the morning, so if you happen to be in Lithuania, you can catch that stream. And he does it in the evening, so if you happen to be in California, you can catch that stream. That's crazy. And Mama's like, damn, really? And you're like, yes, yes, yes. Ring on Ethel and ring the homies and tell everyone at the church. The good news is here. Meaning Wave exists. God damn. What a time to be alive. Yeah. So we say thanks to the gods. We say thanks to the gods here at Maz at the Meaning Wave Autonomous Zone. We say thanks to the gods. And do you know why we say thanks to the gods? Do you know why we say thanks to the gods? Not just for blessing us with beautiful people in our community like Dill 2, you know, and Rachel Tracy, and Rachel Shy Husblini, and Ivan, you know? Not just because of that. We say thanks to the gods because we are grateful. We are grateful to the gods, and that's why we say thanks. That's what you do, cause and effect. We're grateful, so we say thanks. Why are we grateful? Well, I will tell you why we're grateful, baby. I'll tell you right now in the form of song. A song ghost-written by an epic human who existed 2,000 years ago and still does.
When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my
own major key.
Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share in the divine. Not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share in the divine. So none of them can hurt me. No one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate it. We were born to work together like feet, hands and eyes, like the two rows of teeth, upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions. Yo, discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart.
Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart.
Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Whatever this is that I am, it is flesh, a little spirit and intelligence. Throw away your books, stop letting yourself be distracted. That is
not allowed.
Instead, as if you were dying right now, despise your flesh, a mess of blood, pieces of bone, a woven tangle of nerves, veins, arteries. Consider what the spirit is, air, and never the same air, but vomited out and gulped in again every instant. Finally, the intelligence. Think of it this way, you're an old man. Stop allowing your mind to be a slave, to be jerked about by selfish impulses, to kick against fate and the present, to mistrust the future. What is divine is full of providence. Even chance is not divorced from nature, from the inweaving and infolding of things governed by providence. Everything proceeds from it. And then there is necessity and the needs of the whole world, of which you are a part. Whatever the nature of the whole does and whatever serves to maintain it is good for every part of nature. The world is maintained by change in the elements and in the things they compose. That should be enough for you. Treat it as an axiom.
Treat it as an axiom.
Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart.
Oh, what a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing, you get to have the whole day. Hey, oh, what a glorious thing, waking up in the morning, baby. Oh, what a glorious thing, get to have a whole.
Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Discard your thirst for books so you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Remember how long you've been putting this off? How many extensions the gods gave you and you didn't use them? At some point you have to recognize what world it is that you belong to, what power rules it and from what source you spring. That there's a limit to the time assigned to you, and if you don't use it to free yourself, it will be gone and will never return.
Hey. Make some noise, Maz. Make some noise, MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone. Make some noise, beautiful citizens of this Wave Nation. Wave Nation. Whose turf is this? Huh? Whose turf is this?
Our turf. This is out. I mean, that's just true.
It is. Ooh, hello. Yes, this is our turf, and we shall regulate accordingly. You dig? We shall regulate accordingly. And we've been regulating accordingly on a daily basis. A daily basis. Not a single day have we missed. We've been here every day since March 16th, 2020. March 16th, 2020. So that means tomorrow we'll be marking 3 months of meaning streams. 3 months of meaning streams tomorrow. That's tomorrow, baby. Tomorrow is our 3-month birthday tomorrow. Imagine that. Imagine that. 3 months. And, yeah. If anybody wants to rewatch that first stream, anyone who, people of the community of Maz, people of Maz who are archivists, perhaps, or people who like to pay attention to things, if anyone would like to rewatch that stream ahead of tomorrow, and go to the Discord and post in that meaning stream section of the Discord any little video clips or screenshots or any little things you find in there that you think might be appropriate to consider now. I have never rewatched that stream, and I don't have time to rewatch my own streams, frankly. I've got to make albums, you know? I've got a very epic album that I need to be working on right now, so I can't do that. I would like to do that. But if any of you have got a spare moment to rewatch that video and see if you can find anything, please do, and at me in the Discord tomorrow, and I'll check in on that before the broadcast. I do remember in that first broadcast that I declared that I would do it for a week. And that seemed like an awful big deal. That seemed like a big commitment, but it was like, all right, shit's crazy. We're in quarantine. It might go on for a week or a bit more than a week. We don't know. So I said, I promise you that I'll be here, you know, every day, as long as you need me. And here we are, you know, nearly 3 months later. It'll be 3 months tomorrow. I remember I said that. So if anyone has time and wants to go check that previous stream and see if there's anything we should pay attention to and discuss tomorrow, because tomorrow we're having our 3rd month-anniversary stream tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. Sometimes it's good to go back into the past just so you can see where you are, you know, see how those incremental improvements have gotten you, you know, see if they've gotten you anywhere. Have you got any further? Are you any more powerful than you were back then? Are you any better or any more useful in the world? How are things? How have things changed? All that type of business. Val Venus says, the Civic is still good if anyone was wondering. I was wondering, Val Venus. And, while I've got you here, you wanted to know what that song I played the other day was, wasn't it? And it was a version of Everywhere, the Feel Good Rhythm. All right, so there's a Feel Good Rhythm, which is basically a sort of a dancehall version of a Fleetwood Mac song, you know, called Everywhere. It was called the Feel Good Rhythm. And a Busy Signal hit the Feel Good Rhythm, and he did Everywhere on top of the Feel Good Rhythm. So that's what it was. That's Busy Signal with Everywhere, the Feel Good Rhythm. That's that song you wanted to hear again, Val Venus. So shouts out to you. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Thank you for being here. You know? Val Venus Happy said, my hips never felt like that, God bless you. Yeah, it's one of those records. That was one of my, I used to do a thing called Nuke of the Week back in the day when I was focusing on Instagram and building my Instagram when that was the priority. And I did a thing called Nuke of the Week on there, and I'd highlight a song that was my Nuke of the Week. And that was one of my nukes of the week, Busy Signal, Everywhere. It's one of those records that just brings so much joy, you know. And that's one of the things we really try and do here on the Meaning Stream. We try to bring joy. You know, this is one of the things that we try and do here at the MEANINGWAVE Autonomous Zone of Maz. We want to bring joy. We want to create joy. We want to foster joy. Joy is very, very important. You know, joy is power. Joy is fuel. Joy will do incredible things. You know, joy will infuse you with incredible powers, baby. And then you can go out there in the world and you can make it beautiful. You know, and that's how you save the world, baby. Beauty will save the world, and you have the power to make it beautiful, baby. So you got the power to save the world. How about that? Make it beautiful. You know, it's the opposite of what certain people are doing and saying. And God bless them. they want to save the world. They think that the best way they can save the world is by doing the opposite of that, making it gross and ugly. And the only way to counteract that, baby, is with beauty. Make it beautiful. Be beautiful. All right? So thank you for being here. You are beautiful. And I pray that, I pray that the beauty the world needs comes into the world, baby. And I pray that we all have the strength to do that, to make it as beautiful as it deserves to be. As it deserves to be for us and for our children and their children and for all those that follow, baby. Make it beautiful. And make it back here tomorrow for our 3-month anniversary party. And make it to Twitch at 7 a.m. for the morning stream, the morning show, the MEANINGWAVE morning show live on Twitch. And let's do that international 5-5. Let's get on the right camera, Let's, what you gotta do, you gotta cock back. Why is it at the end of the stream lately, my sound starts falling apart? It's blessed. It's held up for most of the stream. That's wonderful. Thank you, equipment. Thank you, spaceship. And thank you, guys. 3, 2, 1. Bye 5, baby, goodbye. Sweet dreams, God bless. See you all tomorrow. Thank you for being here. I love you. Mwah.